Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and happy Halloween. Today we are doing a trick or treat pick a card. So it's a very different pick a card than usual that I would normally do. This is the fourth and final Halloween themed pick a card for this year, and the theme actually hasn't even been decided yet. Reason being, what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to pick a candy here. They're all American candies right here. You guys are going to pick one. Once you've picked one and clicked on your timestamp, I have a little cauldron to the left of me with pieces of paper with different topics in it. So what I'm going to do once you've picked your timestamp, I am going to get the cauldron and pick a topic out and ask Spirit to help me pick the one that you guys would be more in need of. And that's the reading that we're going to do. So before I get into each of your piles, because there's going to be different topics for different readings. Again, if something does not resonate, or if you just feel like the topic that's been chosen isn't a topic that you want to see, that's completely fine. You can come back to the drawing board and pick another pile. This is just for fun. And yeah, I've been really excited to do this and see how it works out. So we have four candies, sweets, whatever you would like to call them, in front of me. I know some of you guys may be thinking, Alexia, Welsh, why do you have American sweets? Or maybe you're not thinking that, but the reason that I have them is because my sister and me usually have a screen marathon at this time of the year, and she said that she wanted to try sweets and candies and stuff from around the world, and I told her to just stick some in a basket and I'll get them, and she kind of chose mostly American ones. So that's what we have here. So let's get in and you guys can choose which candy or sweet. So for pile number one, we have Laffy Taffy. It's blue raspberry, and I'm kind of annoyed that I can't eat this because it doesn't say suitable for vegetarians on it, and I read the ingredients and it says it's got fat in it, so I don't think I can eat that, which is a bit but yeah, so that's pile number one. Pile number two, we have a Hershey's milk chocolate bar. It kind of looks like a Willy Wonka bar, this one. Pile number three, we have a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's the big cup. Never seen one of these before, but cool. And pile number four, we have this lollipop, which is called a Jolly Rancher for pile four. Okay, so you guys see which treat, which candy, which sweet you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box, and then we will start your reading from there. Hey pile one, welcome to your reading. So if you guys chose the Laffy Taffy treat, then this is your reading. I have my cauldron in front of me here, so I have little pieces of paper with different topics on in here. So I'm going to pull your topic from this little broth. Oh, sorry guys. It's actually a soup bowl, which is really cool. So let's pick your topic. I'm just going to take my rings off a second because I don't want them to, scratch. So pile number one, please, Spirit Guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number ones before I even pull a topic. I'm really being taken to Mintaka. You guys might feel like you have soul origins there in Mintaka, and I'm being shown a lot of blue and water coming from you guys straight away. That's just something coming through. Pile number one, please, Spirit Guides, tap me into my pile number ones. What reading are we giving my pile number ones today? All I heard when I pulled your thing was they could do with a bit of joy. I don't know if life's been a bit low for you right now, but I just heard that. It was like a elderly female energy that came through, and it said they could do with a bit of joy. So the reading you guys have is your highest potential in this lifetime. That's the reading we're going to be doing for you guys today. And what I mean by your highest potential in this lifetime, we all have timelines that we can choose to walk on, and we're always shifting and changing on these timelines. That's why predictions are always in a state of flux, and time is always in a state of flux, because our own free will chooses those timelines. So what we're taking a look at is your highest timeline, where you could be in this lifetime, where you could reach, and we're going to be channeling that and see what comes through, what you can achieve in this lifetime, basically. There's kind of a little bit like an Akashic record reading, well, we're really looking at the potential. So let's get straight in. So the Laffy Taffy pile, please, Spirit Guides, pile number one. tap me into the collective of my pile number ones. What is their highest potential going to be in this lifetime? What is my pile number one's highest potential? So straight up, you guys have the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Cups. One thing that I want to say is when I'm tapping into your energy, it feels very celestial. I feel like you've had a lot of incarnations on, you know, other planets, other places, other dimensions. I feel like you guys are a really old soul, and I don't know, you feel like my water pile, to be honest with you. I'm being shown a really strong connection to mermaids when I say that, and I just feel like you guys respond to everything very emotionally. So you could have a water rising, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio rising, or you may just have a lot of water in your chart. Or again, you don't have to have water in your chart, you could just have a very strong resonance with water. And Mintaka is again coming through really, really, really strongly, which they say Mintaka was meant to be a water world, a water planet. And we have 2 cups come through straight away from you. So I feel like maybe a lot of your earlier life in this lifetime, you may have felt things so deeply that it may have felt a little bit more like a curse than it did a gift, because you may have responded to everything very emotionally. You may have let your emotions get the better of you, or get caught up in other people's emotions. You may have even sometimes felt like you weren't living your own life. You may have felt like that sometimes, but I feel like part of your highest potential in this lifetime is gaining an emotional awareness, an emotional maturity to observe your feelings and emotions, analyze them, process them, and allow them to flow away without too much getting caught up in them. And by that I mean, and it's very normal, I do this all the time, you know, when you're going through a little bit of a hard time and then you feel like everything's on top of you, and you kind of get stuck in that mindset of, well, this is how it's going to be forever, and you kind of treat those emotions as a curse. But when we reach that higher awareness, we're able to see those emotions, be aware of them, and be like, well, what are you teaching me? And really feel into them, really feel them, but not take them on as our own. Feel them, let them pass and flow away. And I feel like you guys, a lot of you guys are going to reach that point, because the thing is about having a strong and emotional, you know, receptive energy when we incarnate is it's really, really heavy thing to have incarnating onto Earth. And again, you don't have to have a lot of water in your chart. You could just be an empath. You know what I mean? It's just like there's a strong resonance there. And when we take on that responsibility to really feel people's emotions in the timeline that we're on Earth right now, it can be really hard, because a lot of people on Earth, they're not processing their emotions the way that they should. We're taught to bury them down, and there's a lot of mess going on in the world. There's a lot of pain going on in the world. So to really take that on collectively and just in everyday life, it can be really heavy. But I feel like that's something you came to master in this lifetime and help other people master as well. I feel like you naturally work with energy very well in the spiritual realms, and I feel like you know, mentally as well, you kind of you're able to also be aware of thoughts and control your thoughts sometimes and understand your thoughts, but it's the emotions you're learning to really solidify and understand in this lifetime. And I feel like your highest potential is you reaching a state of inner peace where you're just like, this is happening, but I can control my reaction in this moment. I'm not going to take everybody else's emotion on. I'm just going to process my own emotion and allow it to pass. And finding that grounded essence, that's something that you're going to reach in this lifetime. Pile number 1. Pile number 1's highest potential, please, spirit guides, in this lifetime. We have the Hermit. Your highest potential in this lifetime as well is to become an empowered empath. You guys are strongly empathic. You may have drawn in a lot of people that were attracted to your light, but you're here to, your highest potential is you becoming an empowered empath. Not getting, again, swayed by other people's projections of you or feelings, and being able to ground in your own energy, but be observant of what you're feeling and what you're picking up on. Really, really strong, that's coming through, and having this confidence that just shines from within. You may have gone through a lot of journeys in this lifetime where you lost yourself to find yourself, and that's really strongly coming through, that you guys are here to kind of turn yourself inside out. There's this feeling of not seeing a lot of light around you, trying to find light in anything you can, but then turning it inwards, going within, turning yourself inside out, and then shining that light back out. And that source of light and confidence and love and all of these emotions filter then in from within you. And there's a really empowered state that I see you guys reaching in this lifetime. Pile number 1, final tarot card. We have the Hanged Man. I feel like you guys are exceptional channelers, and I feel like this ability is going to grow and grow and grow as time goes on. It's actually really interesting. We have the World at the back of the deck. It's actually really interesting because when I'm being shown your crown chakra, I'm being shown you sitting there and then stems and flowers coming out of your crown chakra and growing. It's almost like, again, and I may have told you this in a reading before, you're here to seed information. That's why you've got such a good channeling ability. You seed energies and you seed emotions. You guys may end up becoming Reiki healers, you know, doing a lot of energy work and healing work and soul retrieval, because I feel like not only do you channel information, but you channel healing energy for other people too, directly from source is what I'm being told, directly from the higher realms. And that's something that's really strongly coming through, and I see those abilities coming in really, really strongly as well. I see you guys having a really strong you really strongly being able to connect with your own Akashic records, and maybe you doing work where you tap into other people's Akashic records. I just see you guys doing that. And I'm also being told you guys are travelers of the realms. So you know, you guys may be shamanic healers, you guys just may be really good at lucid dreaming, but I see you guys kind of like dwelling between the realms and helping people with like soul retrieval and healing. There's just like a lot of that coming through as well. So in regards to your spiritual abilities, I feel like they're going to really come in tenfold and keep evolving with you. You may even be thinking, oh my god, how much deeper can it go? But it really can go a lot deeper. I just see you guys really becoming very free-spirited and understanding the flow of the earth. I feel like sometimes when you guys incarnate, it's really hard for you at the beginning times of your incarnation, so your early teens, your childhood, maybe even your early 20s and early 30s. You guys may find it hard to navigate the world because you kind of find it hard to adjust to its cycles, because it's very different from where your soul naturally resides. But I see you guys really mastering this realm, and on top of that, because you're able to master the realm, being able to master financial abundance and material abundance for you, because you're able to understand on your journey. And I'm not being told how, because this is a journey for you, but you'll be able to understand how to bring in material abundance and financial abundance by understanding energy more, and how that kind of like, how you can pull that back into you and receive that coming back into you. That's another really big thing that I see you guys reaching at one point. I don't know why I'm being shown 32, so the age of 32 may be really significant, or it could just be a number. It could be like a number of like a hotel room that you end up having an ascension in, or something like that. Or you meet the, you know, it could be like a room with a number 32 where you meet someone really significant or something. There's just 32 is just a number for some reason for you guys. With the World coming up, I feel like you actually, this particular incarnation for you may be either one of the last incarnations that you have on Earth. But if that doesn't resonate, because I feel like that would only resonate for a few, you're patching up and putting a bow on a bunch of incarnations that you've had recently. So let me explain. When we incarnate, sometimes we'll incarnate in bouts. We'll have things that we want to learn, but it's very hard for human lives because they're quite short in the terms of energy, for us to learn everything that we need to learn. So what can happen is we can kind of have a cluster of incarnations where we learn the same topic over and over and over until we master it. And I feel like in this lifetime, you kind of set the intention that you'd finally master. Again, it's like that emotional intelligence and that emotional understanding of Earth and the influxation of energies on Earth. I feel like this may be the last incarnation where you really master in that. That's something that's really coming through. I do feel like a lot of you would incarnate again though, because I just see you guys again, your soul's like, okay, well, Earth in like 100 years is going to be going through this shift, so I'm going to pop up then. So do you know what I think your soul may do? It's becoming a bit of an Akashic record reading. I think your soul has very few and in between incarnations on earth, chooses to incarnate when there's big shifts happening. So say now, for example, because right now there's big shifts happening, say now you're looking at a time scale of big shifts that are happening around 2012 to 2032, they're telling me to say. So maybe 2032 is a time period for you that might be significant. So say now there's big shifts happening from 2012 to 2032. You'll decide to have a bunch of incarnations preparing you for that time period. So you could start incarnating in the 1700s, the 1800s, the 1900s, and then come in the early 2000s or late 90s, late 80s, in the 1900s, where that finality will happen, where you're closing a chapter. So it's like you'll prepare yourselves in certain incarnations to learn and have trial and error, and then in this incarnation, which would be 2012, 2023, which would have been a preparation for this time period, it's like, okay, so I'm gonna have a bunch of incarnations in, you know, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, and then when I jump in the 1900s, late 1900s or early 2000s, that is when I'm going to really wrap things up. That's when I'm really going to come to a conclusion. So I feel like the latter years of this life are going to be very peaceful and very Pocahontas, just around the river bend. I'll go wherever the wind takes me, because I can accumulate what I need to. I'm being shown the magician. I've learned how to do that now. So you may even end up having a little bit of fun towards the later end of your life, where you just kind of manifest, or you may even retire somewhere and just live a more peaceful life that you would have wanted, because I feel like your soul's quite connected to like the Lemurian times. And if you've ever had a regression there, or if you've ever connected to the Lemurian times, it was such a beautiful time period. We were very connected to the earth, and I feel like you may even kind of mimic that in your later life, or really reach that in your later life, because it's something that really calls to you, that way of living. You may even go off grid at that point, because it's like, well, I've just mastered that, and I know how I'm being called to kind of travel now, or go off grid, or have fun, or create some material wealth for fun. There's like a feeling of you having a bit of room to create. Now that I've got here, I want to go back to the 10 of Cups, because if you guys have always wanted a family, whether it's like soul tribe family, or you guys have wanted children and wanted a big family with like a partner and a romance, I do see you guys reaching that. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a journey, because with the house in the background, it's taking me to the 4th house. I feel like maybe you guys have had childhood wounds to clear, maybe karmic wounds, generational karma to clear, which is all added in with you guys finding this emotional maturity within yourself, this emotional understanding within yourself. And I feel like there's a balance that comes in, where you are then going to build from the ground up a structure to kind of put an end to a karmic cycle. So again, it could be karmic cycles where you and your family line would have had negative connections with their own mother, negative connections with their own father, you know, maybe there was poverty, maybe there was discombobulated connections with, you know, people in the family, or you know, in relationships. And I see that you've come to seed and build from the ground up, like tear the tower down, really feel those emotions. It feels very catastrophic, process some heavy emotions, and then build from the bottom up this 10 of Cups, where you are able to not only give your inner child the life that you would have wanted, and your soul the life that you would have wanted, but also for generations back be able to bring to that family line either a beautiful relationship, money, you know, generational wealth, and pass that down, or again, you know, a beautiful connection within family, and raise a family that kind of stays together. That's something that you're bringing through in this lifetime. I see somebody sitting with a cup of coffee in an elderly age going, it was all worth it. Like, I'm hearing that and I feel bliss in my heart. Like, it was worth it. That was all worth it. Yeah, and it's like an elderly feeling, and I just feel like peace. I feel like I want to cry. My heart feels full, and there's almost this feeling in my brain like mission accomplished, and it was like, the way I feel now, or what I have around me, it was worth it. I get it. And I feel like I want to cry. There's like a rejoice coming through, and it all comes from your mastery here. And you know, the fact that we have these 3 major arcanas here, and then we have this Queen of Cups, which is such a strong energy coming through. It's like this incarnation's significant for you. where you would have reached low lows and high heights. And the thing about karma is karma always balances itself out. So looking at your life and looking at the low lows you've reached, I'm being told some of the high highs you haven't even reached yet. So remember that when you reach these low lows, that energy comes back around, and when you reach the bottom, you also reach the top. So there's a reference of that coming through. So let's pull some oracle cards for you guys. Let's use the these. I'll use these. Pile number 1. Pile number 1's highest potential, please, spirit guides, in this lifetime. Spiritually, you have a really high potential to really move mountains, is the message. I feel like a lot of my poster is in front of me, and I just caught the sentence, and I don't know if this is to do with your mission, but the saying on the top of the poster is, we are using our collective consciousness to manifest the optimal timeline reality for Earth. So with you getting rid of the karma and the doubts that you could have a beautiful life, and aligning yourself with the timeline that you can have all that you want, a beautiful family, a beautiful connection, material wealth, inner peace and happiness. With you aligning with that timeline, you're solidifying that timeline and grid into the Earth's consciousness to show people that that timeline is readily available, so other people can pop onto it. And that way the Earth's collective naturally raises. I love how I was able to pull a message from my poster. That's really interesting, because there's a lot of sayings on it, but that one just popped through. And then the other one that's standing out to me is mass ascension. So that's really, really cool how they just stuck out to me. You're a light worker, if I haven't said it before. 100%. You seed and you heal and you plant yourself and you grow like a lotus. That's your soul. Pile number 1's highest potential in this lifetime. Also, I feel like you guys, connect to other worlds, because it's like, I don't belong here, I want to be in another realm, I want to be in another world, but you're actually here to bring those worlds and realms to Earth. And I feel like you're going to get to a point where those realms, you just see them in everyday life. Like, you're going to get to a point where you're so comfortable on Earth, it's like, I actually see the beauty all around me now. This is a beautiful place to be. And you really see that realm because you live it, because you brought it into this incarnation with you. It's really interesting how you're here to see that. Really, really beautiful. So the card that came out was trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. So I love how the shark came out and you guys are connected to the water. Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Again, I feel like a number of, your emotions, that, because I feel like you felt really deep. I feel like a lot of your pain may have come from you seeing the light in people, or you really connecting to people emotionally and wanting to heal them, and then them not choosing that timeline for themselves, or not choosing to heal themselves, and then it's like it creates pain within you then. And I feel like you've really, really dealt with that, but you're becoming emotionally in control of not feeling the need to self-sacrifice or heal everyone that comes onto your path, but also be observant that, yes, everybody needs a bit of healing, but some people just want to take and not actually do anything with that healing. Some people just want to take that energy, and that's something that you've learned. You've learned to become the shark, and the shark isn't a negative being at all, but you've learned to become the shark and analyze, which is really, really beautiful. Pile number 1, we have the tortoise. You're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to ground. Yeah, I feel like you came into this incarnation, and I just feel like looking at, the generational energy around you, and looking at, what maybe you would have been taught in childhood and wounds that may have been caused in childhood. There would have been a lot of fragments where you felt out of your power. You felt like the water was just taking you everywhere, and you couldn't swim in it. You were just losing control. And I feel like your whole life as you've been empowering yourself, going within to turn yourself inside out, and finding pieces of yourself to bring those shattered pieces back together and alchemize them to become more aware, but with the lessons of those shattered pieces, so then you can not only teach other people, but really also appreciate when these highs and beautiful energies come in, and really root yourself into the earth. We then have Gorilla. Take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. So I feel like as well, you guys are going to reach a point of forgiveness as well. I feel like you guys are going to reach a point where there's a lot of love in your heart for a lot of people that may have done you dirty. And I feel like you're really going to see the bigger picture. There's a lot of like reaching a higher awareness where you're just looking at life from a bird's eye view. I see that towards the later end of your life, looking back and being like, do you know what? I actually love every single one of you, because every single one of you have taught me something so deep and so intricate and so life-changing. And I appreciate that so much. You've all been lessons to me. And I actually see now how certain people, even that I'm not speaking to and haven't spoken to for about 50 years, you were probably part of my soul tribe. And I'm so grateful that we played this out and I was able to learn that from you. Like, I see so much gratitude coming through for just the existence of life. Whereas your earlier life may be like, why the F did I choose this? You know, it's a big flip, I'm being told, like a big reverse that comes in when you go within and shine out. It's really, really interesting. In the back of the deck, we have the Penguin. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. So some of you guys may already be going through this reverse star where you go inward and shine back out. Some of you guys may already be going through that. But I feel like you've had to pass through some very challenging emotions to really reach, you know, your abundance and that fullness and fulfillment within you. I'm also being told to reverse the 32 because I'm being shown 23 and 32. So I don't know whether there's like a gateway. I know when we hit 2023, we go through our 12th house perfection year. So it could be that you go through a period of transformation around that time and come out, you know, when you're 32. It's quite interesting to think about. It doesn't have to be. It's just something that I'm thinking of there, because I keep being shown 23, 32, 23, 32. Again, it could be just those numbers are significant because you could meet people in those time periods when you're that age, or you know, 2023 may be significant and 2032 might be significant. Just keep in mind those numbers. So final card, I'm not going to use them because I feel like that was me. Final card, pile number 1. What is pile number 1's highest potential in this lifetime? What is pile number 1's highest potential in this lifetime? We have ghost or regret. Interesting. When we think of ghost, and even with the regret here, sometimes when souls feel like they don't want to incarnate, or they feel chained to earth for some reason, they feel guilt or whatever, and they don't want to send on, they stick around in the earthy realms, which is when people then tend to call them ghosts and poltergeists or whatever. But what they are is soul bound souls. And I feel like part of your incarnation is, you know how there's so much karma on earth, so a lot of souls naturally are going to come back to earth to resolve the karma that they would have created or that they would have been stuck on earth. Part of your mission as just a soul in general is to come into these incarnations and clear out heavy karma and teach other people how to do it, so that not only Earth's collective can kind of like resolve and move forward, but also the lineages that you're incarnating into, you're able to bring good luck there. You're able to raise the vibration of those lineages. Instead of more people being birthed into the same karma, you're able to change that karma and incarnate and change it around. Where it seemed there was no hope, you come through as that hope. You come through as that shooting star. You come through as that seed. That seed's unconditional love, seeds healing. Because we look at generational curses and karma as, you know, not a lot of wealth and bad relationships, but our good luck and fortune is also able to come through. Generational wealth is a thing. You know what I mean? Generational healing is a thing. And all of this wisdom that you attain and pass through to your children and activate in your DNA before even giving birth, that is also a thing that you can pass down, and a beautiful love and a more healthier love, that is also something you pass down. And you're here to do that, to release people from those chains of being earthbound, and you know, having that regret and being stuck. That's really, really beautiful, really, really beautiful. And the back of the deck, we have midnight, the most magical hour of all. Really, really interesting that that's come through. Because it's reminding me of Cinderella. When the clock turns midnight, she's got to go home because the pumpkin and everything's going to turn back into like a human being. I don't know why it's taken me there, but it's like it shatters the illusion. Then do you get what I mean? Like when the clock turned midnight, the illusion of the pumpkin carriage and all of that, it shatters. And when we look at the labyrinth, and I shared the music video for the David Bowie song As the World Falls Down, in the video, Sarah, she's dancing with Jared, but she realizes everything's a bit of an illusion, and there's like a mirror, and she shatters it. And when she shatters it, there's like time sounds playing in the background. She shatters the illusion. So it's almost like souls being stuck in like a karmic loop. You come through to shatter that illusion, but for you to shatter the illusion, you incarnate and process these heavy emotions, to really feel them, go down into your subconscious, go down into your deeper realms, shatter them, alchemize them, turn yourself inside out, and come back shining even brighter. You come through to do that and shatter that, the most magical hour of all. That's what you come to do, and change the course then, you know. Yeah, so pile number one, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. Happy Halloween to you all. I hope you guys have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching this video. I hope you guys have a lovely Halloween, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pal 2, welcome to your reading. So if you guys chose the Hershey's chocolate bar, this is your reading. So I have my little cauldron here, and we're going to be taking a look at what reading we're doing for you, what topic we're doing. I've taken one out already because we've just done pile number one. So let's take a look at what your reading is going to be. So pile number 2, Spirit Guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. What reading are we doing for pile 2? Ooh, what do we have? That's a big one. Okay, so we have what goes through their mind when they think of you. So when I wrote this out, I intended it to be like an ex, crush, love sort of reading. So that's what we're going to be doing. So you can apply whoever you want that to be. I did mean it more in a romantic sense, or ex sense, or situationship, relationship, anything like that, to bring a bit of clarity. So that's what I feel like I'm gonna energetically pull on. But if you want to connect that to like a friendship or something, you can. So yeah, what goes through their mind when they think of you? So let me pop that to the side. Again, if you feel like you don't want that sort of reading, or if you don't feel aligned with that reading, feel free to pick a different pile. Yeah, feel free to pick a different pile if you don't want to. But if you're curious, let's get in. So pile number 2, please, Spirit Guides, the Hershey's pile. What was the, say, I want to get it correctly so I don't mix it up. What goes through their mind when they think of you? So tap me into pile number 2 and pile number 2's person that they have in mind, please, Spirit Guides. Tap me into my pile number 2's and who they have in mind. What goes through pile number 2's person's mind when they think of pile number 2? Straight away we have the Queen of Swords. I just shared ballsy. That's what I just shared, ballsy. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. What goes through my pile number 2's person's mind when they think of my pile number 2's? They feel conflicted. That's something that's coming through. I feel like your person feels conflicted when they think of you. Pile number 2. What goes through my pile number 2's person's mind when they think of my pile number 2's? Temperance. I'm hearing God is a Woman by Miss Ariana Grande. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have the Knight of Wands. Okay. The back of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands as well. I don't know if the person that you're asking about you've argued with, or you may have a little bit of an up and down relationship. There's almost this feeling, because what's the song? Who sings that? Was it Liam Payne? No. Who's the other guy from Louis from One Direction, I don't know his last name, and BB Rexa, they have this song called Back to You, and it's like, I just keep on coming back to you. That's the lyrics, and I'm hearing that. So I feel like this is someone you may have gone round in circles with, or someone that you've just kind of gone back and forth with. You may have like kind of a close connection where you argue a little bit and then everything's fine the next minute, something's resolved. There's like a feeling like that, almost like a brotherly sisterly energy. You don't have to be brother and sister, it's just that soulful connection there, where it's like there just feels like a sense of soul connection where you're the type, this is how this person feels towards you, that you and them can pick up where you left off. So you didn't speak for a year, this person could just pop back up and you guys will just pick up where you left off. The only thing I would say about that is this person does seem like, if this is like a kind of like romantic connection or something like that, this person may have got a little bit complacent with you guys, in the sense that there's this feeling of, well, they're always around, I always feel connected to them, I don't see any harm in maybe exploring other options, or I can go away and come back, this person won't mind. I feel like there's almost a feeling of that, because this person looks at you as someone that they see you as somebody that's very ballsy and somebody that's very outspoken, somebody that will speak your mind. That's something they actually really love about you. And being shown the sun, I feel like this person feels like you're super confident. You're a very bright light to them. However, because of this soulful connection there and this playful nature there, it's like this person almost doesn't look at the situation as taking it too seriously, because there's a feeling of, I don't necessarily have to. I don't necessarily have to take it too seriously, because we're always gonna be around each other, or we're always going to come back to each other. I'll probably end up in a relationship with that person down the line, or I'll end up married to that person down the line. But right now, maybe I want to play. Right now I may want to, go somewhere else. But this person's still going to be there. There's this feeling of this person getting super complacent and not doing everything that they should do to honor you. And I don't even think that, because I feel like on your end, this is something that may really hurt you. With this Queen of Swords, I feel like you may tell this person off sometimes, whereas this person doesn't even see that it could hurt you. This person doesn't even see or understand how that could hurt you. They're almost feeling like you mirror them, and it's just like, how do I explain it? There's this feeling of, oh, well, they mirror me and they probably feel the same way. So they may be a little bit frustrated now, but I don't really have to deal with this, because I know in a year's time, or in 6 months' time, or even in a couple of weeks' time, we'll link up again. And it's not even a case of a sneaky sly way of, I'll pop back up and I can fit back in, and it's not like that. It's like, oh, we'll be fine in a couple of weeks, let's just let this blow over. They're just having a moment, not acknowledging where they could go wrong, or where their complacency where that can really affect you at times. There's an almost disregard towards your feelings. I feel like this person has a little bit of maturing emotionally to deal with. But as far as how they view you and what they think about in regards to you, is that they almost view you as like a best friend or some sort of soulmate. You're very fun. You're vibrant, you're quite peculiar is the word, you're, again, ballsy. I feel like you may call this person out on their actions or tell this person off sometimes. You're also this person feels like you're super open with how you feel and your emotions, like everything's on the table. And I do see that you guys sometimes will keep things to yourself, but this person's very surface level, in the sense of they view things on a surface level of what they're being shown. And I feel like you guys have so much more to you that they don't see, but the reason they don't see it is not because it's not available for them to see, it's because they don't pry, or maybe they haven't met themselves deep enough to really understand it. There's depths to you that this person hasn't seen, which is why they're looking at you in more of a fun, lighter way, which is why it's like they haven't felt completely chained to you, in the sense of going deep and really honoring you in that way, because they haven't seen all of that. they're going off of what they physically see when they're around you, which is you two getting along and you two guys having a super cool friendship or fun time together or clicking really well, but they don't see the depth, which is why it's like I haven't gone too deep, so I'm able to run over here and run over there or walk away for a little bit because I know I can come back. They haven't seen those depths yet. And I don't even think they understand the depths of feelings maybe you have for them, because there's a flippant feeling, and this is with everything I think that they have. I feel like they haven't gone into their heart chakra too deeply, so everything's on a lighter level. So it's almost like they look at life as what you see is what you get, whereas I feel like there's much more to you that they haven't really pried on. Now, I feel like with this Temperance card here, this person does feel like naturally you're somebody that does really love yourself, gives a lot of time, and this person feels like you make effort within yourself, like you're high maintenance. And that can mean anything. That could mean that you're high maintenance in the sense that you like fancy things. That could be high maintenance in the sense that you may really pour a lot of energy and time into yourself, skincare, if you wear makeup, your hair. It could be career, you're high maintenance in your career, and your goals, or it could be like high maintenance in regards as to what you would want out of a relationship. This person could view it like that and feel like, oh well, I'm not there to be able to give them everything that they want yet, so I'm gonna step away, and then I'll just wait and then kind of like come back when I feel ready. However, if you guys have not been in contact with this person for some time, this Knight of Wands here, there's almost this feeling of someone coming back and forth through a door, and then running back to the castle thinking, oh, I can come back, and then looking and there's something off because the castle isn't even there anymore. It's like you built up another castle, or maybe you've changed the locks, and they see you kind of growing. Or maybe you're revealing, or maybe they're able to see after meeting themselves a little bit deeper, more depth to you. They're able to see more of your multi-dimensionalness, you know? I'm being shown like, you know when you have those little glass ornaments and they're like shaped a little bit like a pentagon and they're like kind of like a kaleidoscope when you look in, they're starting to see your hue and your colour and see a little bit deeper. And now there's a feeling of like, oh, have I actually messed up? Can I actually come back this time? Because then this Queen of Swords that they like about you, where you're very ballsy and you may tell them straight, that there's almost a feeling of them worrying about what you'll say, or if you'll put them in their place, or if you'll neglect them. There's always a feeling of them worrying about if you'll completely shut the door on them. There's almost a feeling of, did I push it too far this time? Did I push this person too far? Have I come back and forth too? This is for someone you've gone back and forth with, because it's like, have I gone back and forth one too many times? Have I played the ball one too many times? You know, I feel like you could have said to them, level up, and they weren't leveling up, and then you're finally like, I'm gone, I'm done. This next time you leave, I'm done. Because there's this feeling of, oh, they weren't joking. Oh my God, the time's actually come and they've leveled up and this train's left without me. There's a feeling of that. And there's this feeling of, do I walk down the tracks and see if I can find the train, or do I save myself the embarrassment or the feeling of neglect, which could trigger my own abandonment wounds? So there's a feeling of that coming through where they're like, oh, goodness. Like, it kind of feels like that. It's like, uh-oh, you know? I don't think that door's ready for me to come back. Or maybe they even tried messaging you and you just haven't responded. Because I'm being shown someone trying to put their old key through a lock and it not working. So someone could have tried messaging you, texting you. You may have blocked them. Searching for you on social media, you may have blocked them. There's a feeling of that, like, oh, I think I played the game a bit too far. I think I've lost that one. So then there's a feeling of looking at you like the one that got away. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to pull some shadow side of this now to try and go a bit deeper. Pile number two. What goes through pile number two's person's mind when they think of pile number two? They're steady still thinking of your brightness, your ballsiness, but there's a big, I'm not going to use these, by the way, because I feel like I did that myself. There's a big worry about what you would say now, or what wrath you may have for them now. Maybe this is the longest they've been away, or maybe they really hurt you and it's like, oh God, I really hurt them this time. Oh God, I don't think I can come back. There's a feeling of that. I'm hearing proceed with caution. And when you look at the Queen of Swords as well, she has this butterfly crown on, and you know, the butterfly, the chair here, it's like on the chair, on the throne, it's like you've really grown and elevated. I feel like mentally you've kind of grown wise to the situation. It's like, I wasn't going to wait around forever sort of feeling. That's how it comes through. It's like, I wasn't going to wait around forever. What, you know, and this person's almost feeling like, I really played a little bit too hard here. Like, I really gambled a bit too much here. I knew that this was an option, but I underestimated. And I shouldn't have. And there's a feeling of feeling silly when they think of you. But this person's a little bit nonchalant, I'm being told. This person may be a bit arrogant sometimes and be like, oh, well, I don't care anyway. But, you know, the emotions are saying different. Pile number 2. What goes through pile number 2's person's mind when they think of them? We have the 6 of Swords. I'm hearing One Last Time by Ariana Grande, of course. Yeah, look at the burning here. This person burnt a bridge with you, and now they're regretting it. This person burnt a bridge with you. There's regret here when they think of you. Pile number 2. How does pile number 2's person feel when they think of pile number 2? I feel like when the going gets tough, this person ups and leaves too. Or when things get a little bit too serious, this person ups and leaves. Maybe when you place a boundary or you tell them to level up, they leave. Whereas this time they may have really burnt the bridge. Or maybe you burnt the bridge. Maybe they walked away thinking, oh, I'll come back over the bridge. And you were like, nope, burn the bridge. We have Justice. There's an apology this person wants to give to you. But then it's like, to apologize, and I have to really admit that I'm in the wrong. And I don't think they like to do that. We also have the King of Cups, which has come through here as well. This is more about their ego than anything else, I will say that. The back of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. I'm hearing Love is a Losing Game by Amy Winehouse. I don't think this person realized how much you really gave to them until you were gone. I think that you're someone that's very loyal, and I think you're someone that really gives. And I think until this person upped and left and went somewhere else, I feel like this person didn't realize the value of you. Sometimes we have to lose someone to really see the value of them. You know what I mean? And I feel like that may have been this person's lesson, to lose you to really see the value of you. I do feel that they may want to apologize at one point. And you know, I was talking about the key to coming back through the door. This person knows that to come back through the door and get that key to come back through the door, they're going to have to apologize. The swords here representing air. There needs to be a level of communication and an apology. But the only thing is, this person's stuck in a rut in regards to their own ego. So whether they will or they won't, I don't know, because this is just all energy. It's like, I want to apologize, but then they're stuck in their ego. It's like, I want to be the one winning. You know what I mean? I don't want to, like, because there's almost a little bit of a rivalry that they feel with you too, like an envious feeling, or like a rivalry that they have. That's why I was picking up maybe like a bit of a sibling energy too, because it's like best friends that are also rivaling. You know, it's like, I want to one up, I want to one up. I don't feel like you would ever trying to really one up them, but I feel like this person moves that way. I'm doing better without you sort of feeling. I feel like they do kind of move like that. And I feel like they may be a little bit butthurt that you would have. I feel like you burnt the bridge. I feel like you cut them off. Even if this person walked away first, I feel like the bridge was burnt by you. You did that. You were like, I'm done. If you don't want this, I'll go somewhere else. And I feel like this person's like, oh, you know. There's guilt. There's definitely a bit of guilt coming through. But because of the King of Pentacles at the back of the deck, I feel like this person's very careful with their appearance and what they present to people. So it could have been that they, you know, you could be someone that has a career that's a little bit different. Or you could be someone that, again, because I've seen you as ballsy and quite, I keep wanting to click my fingers. They may feel like they need someone to play house with, or they need someone to be more put together for them, in the sense of maybe keeping their mouth shut instead of, you know, because you tell this person where to go, and you know, you really put this person in their place. Maybe they're looking for someone that's a little bit more tamed. I don't know. So maybe they've been somewhere else. And again, it's like the what I can present. There's something about maybe trying to play house somewhere or something like that. I don't know. Let's pull some oracle cards. Pile number 2. How does pile number 2's person feel when they think of pile 2? What does pile number 2's person think when they think of pile 2? We have the manatee. Accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Okay. Accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. I think that you might have like fallen in love or really loved the potential of what you and this person could be, whereas this person didn't want to live up to that potential, or didn't maybe see that potential in themselves to live up to that. And I feel like you've accepted. I feel like this person was able to keep coming through the door because I feel like you would always look at the potential. So it was always like, oh, we haven't got here yet, we haven't reached this milestone yet, there's still a potential here. And I feel like this person enjoyed that you saw that in them. It might have even given them an ego boost. However, it's shattered. You're now seeing the situation as it was, and you're no longer trying to build it back up. You've poured that back into yourself with this Temperance card. So they're like, oh, they really, the jig is up, sort of thing, you know what I mean? So that's something that they're feeling. And then mountain goat, there's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to correct it. That's the thing, you've been bringing balance back into your life. That's what this person's seeing you as. This person's seeing you somewhat, they feel like you've given up on this situation, given up on this connection, and they feel like, because the goat here, you know, the mountain goat represents Capricorn, it's like you've really been building and working on yourself. This person can see that. That's why they see that there's been a shift in your energy that's come through. I swear one of my cats just came up. I can hear movement. I don't know. I can't see anything. I don't know. But yeah, they can see that you've really poured into yourself. You may have reached a level of success, maybe career-wise. There's just something they're feeling like they can't quite... Do you know, it's not even that they can't reach you. It's like, oh, they wouldn't... They have wised up now. They've grown up now. They don't want to play these games anymore. I could not go back in with the same energy anymore. And right now they're in a contemplation of what they would do. I don't know whether they would come back with an apology and really change and offer you more, or whether they would just say, I don't think I can give that. I don't think I can come out of my ego to apologize. This person, I maybe it's because there's so many of you watching, but I can't give a yes or no whether they would come back with an apology or not, or try again or not, only because it feels like it's in the wings, nothing's cemented yet, meaning this person may still have growing to do, and it will depend on the level of growth that they do, how they would decide to go about this connection. So as far as the future, it's kind of foggy for me, which I can't tap into, so apologies for that. At the back of the deck we have chimpanzee. Use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your question. I feel like this person feels like you've grown out of the situation, you're wiser to the situation. This person feels like you are now ready to really demand more and just not be interested in what was there before. It's like you've shattered the illusions that they benefited from now. They're aware. And I think that's where guilt comes in. And then annoyance itself, because it's like, I could have given it to them then, but I didn't. Why didn't I? Like, there's a frustration. Or like, if that last time I didn't go back and I didn't do all that where the bridge was burnt, then maybe I could come back now and we could start where we left off. And then, but it's like that. The whole point of this was this person had to learn had to learn what it was like where your presence wasn't in their life, where it was like a missed opportunity. I shouldn't play around like that anymore. That's what this person learns from this situation. Pile number... And that's if they choose to learn it. Some people will get a lesson in their face and they'll choose not to learn it, and then it'll happen with someone else. Look at that, what we have at the as your card, wise see and wise action. This person feels like you've grown up, you've moved on, you see beyond the situation, you've become wise to, you know, those games. You're not down to play anymore and be surface level anymore. On the back of the deck we have Black Cat, fortune meets opportunity. So this person feels like you're on to bigger and better things, and you wouldn't want anything to do with them now. I feel like that's how it's coming in. For a lot of you guys, I don't think that they would contact you again. I think it's more out of a thing of saving face, out of not contacting you again. For some of you guys, you'll hear from them, but for a lot of you guys, I feel like you might not hear from them. It's a saving face sort of thing. Yeah. So pile 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween, whatever time you're watching this, morning, afternoon, evening. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at, well, I don't even know the topic yet, so I don't know why I said that. You guys chose the Reese's peanut butter cup as your pile, and I have my little broth here. So I've already pulled two out for pile 1 and 2. We're going to be seeing what your topic is now, which is going to be on a piece of paper in here. So let's get in. So pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. What topic of the reading are we doing for my pile number 3s? Tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. What topic? Strong yellow energy coming through and golden energy. I feel like you guys are healing your solar plexus right now. There's a lot of, I don't know if you guys have just received Reiki or you've been doing a lot of like energy work on yourself. You may just be a Reiki healer or an energy worker, but there's a lot of gold in your aura collectively. So that's showing a lot of healing, but also being taken to the solar plexus. So you guys may be working on your self-confidence right now, your worthiness. There's a lot of that coming through. It feels more like a release. Where you may be feeling a little bit insecure and things like that, but for some of you guys there's an expansion where you guys are feeling really creative. You may be like reinventing yourself. I don't know, there's just something coming through. Pile 3, what topic are we doing for my pile number 3s, please? I don't know if someone's eating tomatoes. I just got shown a tomato in my mind's eye. We have we have, how do you make people feel in your presence? It's funny you guys got that, because I was picking up the solar plexus and I was saying about you guys maybe feeling like you want to reinvent yourself. And when we look at how you make people feel and what makes you attractive and all that, it does give us an ego boost to know how we're seen and how other people, you know, see us. And, you know, if you guys are going through a bit of a change in who you are and doing a bit of alchemization, we're always revealing new layers. So it could be, hello, Jasper. Jasper's here, guys. He probably won't jump up on the table, but he is watching. Very observant of my candles. Yeah, so, and Jasper's a Leo, so that's connected to the sun and the solar plexus again, so that's a nice little synchronicity. But yeah, those with you guys maybe alchemizing in regards to your solar plexus and all of that, we meet a new layer of ourselves where a new part of our personality unlocks. So it could be that you haven't watched a reading like that in a while, and you could see that what I'm able to channel here is a little bit different to other readings because a new layer of you is unlocking, which is other people seeing different parts of you. So it could be that there's a shift. So that's kind of cool. So okay, how do you make people feel in your presence? Let's get in. Pile number, oh, hang on, card fell on the floor. Okay. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. How do people feel in pile number 3's presence? How do people feel in my pile number 3's presence? How do people feel in my pile number 3's presence? So we have the 10 of Wands. I'm being shown the scene from Pretty Little Liars when they're handing alcohol around, the 5 girls, and Aria takes like a sip that's a little bit too big, and Spencer says, be careful, Aria, otherwise you'll tell us all of your secrets. So there's like a feeling of people wanting to maybe pry into your brain. You may be somebody that's a little bit more observant. As of recent, again, there's a shift in your energy. You're someone that's a little bit more observant and doesn't really tell on themselves too much. And the reason I think that as well is the song that I'm hearing is Kali Uchis' song Body Language, and I can't say the lyrics fully like how they go, but I know she sings I've said everything I need to say, the rest is in the body language. It's like I don't want to talk anymore, the rest is in the body language. Like you can find what you want from my body language, like I'm not saying anything else. That's what I take from the song, and that's what I'm picking up from you guys. Like I just feel like you've mastered the art of being very observant and not releasing too much information of, you know, yourselves. So there's a mystery in people wanting to pry, pick your brain, you know. 100%. Pile number, and I'm being told, people may say to you moving forward, or they may have always said it to you, I didn't like you at first, but now I like you. The reason being, I feel like people might get a little bit intimidated by you when they meet you. But you know that saying, am I intimidating or are you intimidated? I feel like there's a strong, potent confidence that's just naturally exuding from you. It's not like a false confidence. It's not a forced confidence. It's a natural confidence that's coming from within. Where you feel comfortable in every room, you're yourself in every room, comfortable in your own expressions and the way you're speaking and what you have to say, that it may take people aback, even people that used to know you, because I'm being so told to say used to know you, where they wouldn't expect that. So it's like they're wanting to pry, where has this come from? And there's like an intimidation then, because it's like, oh, they're super confident, that's something that I lack, so it's a little bit intimidating to me. That's something coming through from you guys. How do people feel in my pile 3's presence? We have the 9 of Cups. How do people feel in my pile number 3's presence? 6 of Cups. You're someone that's, I don't know if you have dry humor, but you're definitely someone that says little witty things or kind of jokey things that kind of stick. Like they're really funny, and I feel like people go home and think about it. You could also be somebody that's really in, because I was seeing you guys getting creative, and it could be in regards to fashion and clothing. I feel like people looking at your clothing or your style and really taking note of that. Someone that's standing out for sure. Someone that you'd go home and be like, oh my god, I wish I asked that person where that pair of shoes came from, or I wish I asked that person what eyeshadow palette they used, or you know, something like that. Is coming through. I feel like people may look up to you as well in a way of like your confidence. It's like, be like that person, you know, like there's always like people that have that confidence coming within, and people naturally are drawn to them or want to be like them, like a Rihanna. She has this confidence that comes within. Alexia, she has that confidence that comes within. I know Naomi Campbell has that same essence where she has this confidence within. I'm trying to think of other people that have that. Who else has that? I don't know, let's just stick to them 3. I was trying to think of like males and stuff, but my mind's gone blank and I don't want to just list a bunch of people, but you just have that. I feel like you have that. It's because it's coming within, it's shining within. There's a uniqueness. You know that Beyonce song, and she's like, unique, that's what you are. I'm hearing that. So that's really coming through. And there's a careless feel that people feel from you, which depending on their own inner world, they could take that in a different way. So some people could look at the careless way in a negative way and be like, oh, that person doesn't, you know, that person's just completely unbothered. That person is ignorant, or that person thinks too highly of themselves, or that person is really up themselves, you know, like people say that. So people could project that that person only cares about themselves, whereas other people could see you as careless, like you don't really care what other people's opinions are of you, because you know your own opinion of you and you like that opinion. Like it could be in a lighter way too, but it all depends on the people that are around you and how they view life as to how they're going to take that, because a lot of people take people's confidence as ignorance and you know, arrogance. A lot of people do take that as that. So it depends, but there's definitely, without a doubt, confidence just exuding from you, which is funny because Jasper's a Leo and he's just sat observing everything I'm doing. I want to run over and pick him up and cuddle him, but he's semi-feral, so he will just run. So there's no point. I just want to give him a cuddle. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. How do people feel in my pile number 3's presence? Hanged Man. I'm going to place that upright. Back of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. You know those people that just look like they have their ish together, and no one fully has everything together. The only thing we can ever really have together is our own internal world. So because you've already got your internal world together, you're someone that comes across as like maybe unbothered in stressful situations, because it's like you've got yourself locked in and grounded to the point that you're not getting worked up by other things. So like, say now somebody could be having like a little bit of trouble with money, you're the type of person moving forward, and this is how people view you, where it's like, oh, don't worry, it'll come back to me tenfold. You know what I mean? Don't worry, it's fine. Like, it's fine. We're just going through an influx. It's fine. There's a feeling like that coming from you guys. Like, whatever will be. And I feel like people, that confidence in everything just exudes. And I feel like that's why you feel irreplaceable to people, because it's like, oh, well, if this connection doesn't work out, that's completely fine. That's obviously the universe's way of saying it wasn't meant to be. There'll be plenty more fish in the sea. It's fine. So people naturally are like, oh, that person doesn't need me. I feel like I might want to cling to this person then, or I better be on my best behavior with this person. High value is the message here for you guys moving forward. Very, very strongly. Another thing I'm being told is that you guys are quite articulate. I feel like you guys know really big words. I don't, but I feel like you guys do. That's just something that's coming through. I actually get people sometimes when they watch my readings, they're like, they kind of like will make fun of me because I don't know really big words. I don't know certain words, and they're like, I had someone say once, what did they say to me? I could tell you never finished school. You should quit YouTube and learn how to speak proper English. I was like, what? But it's just because I don't know genuine words, but I like to think energy makes up for it, and the energy I pass on makes up for it. But you guys are really articulate in the way that you speak. Like, you guys just come across very intellectually, like very intelligent, very much so. But it's funny, you come across that way to people, but what I see, because there's different types of intelligence, I feel like you also have really good wisdom, to be able to have that confidence within. It's really interesting. And I feel like maybe the reason that it exudes so bright is maybe you didn't have that before and it's come back. That's something. Another thing as well, I feel like you guys are quite playful, and I feel like that's like an impression you give off as well. There's a careless feeling of life's too short, so I feel like you remind people of maybe their inner child. Maybe you bring other people's inner child out of them too. I think you're going to surprise yourself moving forward how open your throat chakra is, and how more dominant, you know, you feel in expressing your own feelings and emotions and opinions, whereas maybe you wouldn't have before. It's really good. It's like you're balancing your divine masculine and feminine out. There's a healthy balance coming through in this reading. I feel like you're someone that people like to watch or acknowledge and check up on, maybe on social media and things like that. That's definitely something that is coming through. I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well. So pile number 3. How do you make people feel when they're in your presence? How does pile number 3 make people feel? I feel like the closer you get, the more welcoming and warm you feel. I feel like you're someone that is just very warm, assertive, but like really bold and really inviting. You may not acknowledge yourself as really bold and assertive, but it's just the playful, fun, lovely, friendly energy that you give off, this warmth that is bold to people. So you might not say anything physically too bold, but your energy comes through as very bold. I feel like you seem like someone that would just put your arm around someone and bring you into their wings. Like, that's how you feel. And I feel like the closer people get to you, the more they're gonna see this light coming through. The yellow on the cards is really shining out to me. Pile number 3. How do people feel in pile number 3's presence? We have the rattlesnake. The experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. So look at the snake. I feel like you've got so much wisdom under your belt that you've been able to find your confidence within. And when you find your confidence within, there's no going back. No one can tell you about you. I feel like you've gone through so many layers and transformations that it's just like, there's so much wisdom and intelligence and confidence to you that it just exudes within you. You know exactly who you are, and you're able to read people. And I think that's maybe why people may feel intimidated, because you've been the bad guy, you've been the sad person, you've been the insecure person, you've been the person that was full of light and then had it taken away, you've been the person that was grieving, you've been all of that. So because you've been all of that, you understand people. So when people may be projecting, you get it. When people are talking, you're able to see what they're saying, even without them saying the actual words, if that makes sense. It's like you're able to feel when people are insecure and saying something out of their insecurities or their own projections. You're able to see it. There's an intelligence there that comes through, and that's how you're able to be quite observant, and that's why you're careful with what you shine out about yourself. Really interesting. Pile number 3. Yeah, I keep hearing Alien Superstar by Beyonce. I don't know if you've been listening to her a lot, but you know when she sings, I'm one of one, I'm the only one. She sings, don't try to, don't waste your time trying to compete with me. She sings, and then she's like, unique, that's what you are. And then it's like category, bad bitch, I'm the bar, alien superstar, or something like that. She sings. I don't know, I feel like that song would represent how people may view you moving forward. If you want to listen to it, it's Alien Superstar by Beyonce. We have Platypus. Stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. So you're someone as well that you know heartache, you know pain, you know all of that, but you're able to like see beyond and still enjoy life and be confident. And I think that's why people think, oh, well, that person's unbothered, that person's careless. It's not that you're careless, you're just able to detach and still have a good time without having to have one thought or feeling or mishap ruin your day. You've learned to detach and evolve from it. That's something you've learned to do. Whereas people may be like, well, that person's careless, and it's not that. You've just learned to detach. We then have Camel. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. You know the resources come within, and I feel like people see that about you, see that, you know, light shining within you, and I feel like it's inviting and it's warm, and I feel like people may look up to you as like an older brother, older sister, older sibling, because you have knowledge and you're super confident with it, you know, like you see people on TikTok and they're like, oh, I'll be a big sis, or I'll be a big bro, and I'll give you advice. I follow a few of them. You feel like that. That's how people look up to you. I feel like people look up to you for like confidence and things like that. Yeah, interesting. And the back of the deck, oh well, in the back of the deck we have the Peacock. Let yourself stand out and be noticed. So maybe you've always shined, but you didn't see your own light, so you try to hide yourself a little bit, whereas your wings are open, and I feel like people are seeing all the colors, and I feel like you're really standing out and just letting yourself shine. Don't care what people say. It's just like, I'm gonna shine regardless, you know. Superstar. So let's pull some your Halloween oracles now. Pile number 3. How do people feel when they're in pile number 3's presence? 2 cards fell out for you guys. I'm gonna grab the other one now. I'll pop this out of view. I'll pop it down here. So the card is I never know how to say this. Barmbrack. Sweetness and synergy. Now, this thing here, what they used to do back in the day is they'd bake like a loaf or like a cake, and they'd put like things in there, like a key, they'd put like a coin, they'd put a ring, and they'd cut slices, and then whatever you got in that slice you were going to have. So if you got the ring, you could get engaged that year. You know, if you got a coin, then you'd be making money, and then they'd have like more negative things in there as well. I can't remember what the negative things would have been, but I feel like people feel like they don't know what they're going to get from you. I feel like that's why they feel like they're wanting to pry your brain. And I feel like people's answer as to what they're going to get from you is the energy that they give to you in the first place. But, you know, some people's insecurities can have them acting a bit weird, which means you may then be guarded up when that person comes because you're super observant. So I feel like that's how people may feel. They don't know what they're going to get with you, or they don't quite know how to work you out until they actually get a piece of the pie. That's what people may feel. Let me grab the other card. We have joy, rejoicing in the present. So moving forward, people are going to see you as somebody that's very playful, very confident, very the light's coming from within. I'm very present, I'm very grounded in this moment. Someone that when I'm having communication, you know, you're looking in their eyes. It's like, I'm being shown me talking to you and you're looking in my eyes, you're analysing me, I can feel your energy, I know you're like listening to me, you're sympathetic with what I'm saying, or you're enjoying the story and there's smile, like it's like you're reading me and I'm feeling you. And it's for some people it's intense because some people sometimes have a mask on, but for other people they really feel seen by you, which is, you know, a beautiful energy. In the back of the deck, which actually just literally flipped over, is our wise seeing, wise action. So again, it's this it's an intensity that you have, because you're sure of yourself and you're able to analyze and read people really, really well. But depending on how people step towards you, it's going to be a different feeling. Yeah, they'll either feel intimidated and maybe project, or they're going to feel really like comforted by you and like you're an older sibling to them, and, you know, think back to the connections with you a lot. Yeah, so past 3, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I hope you guys have a beautiful Halloween and enjoy yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next reading. So thank you guys for watching. Welcome to your reading. So we are going to be taking a look at what topic we're doing for your trick or treat reading today. So you guys chose the Jolly Rancher. I placed that up in the corner. I'm going to now open the pot. There's only a few left because pile 1, 2 and 3s are already out. But yeah, we're going to see what topic you guys have. So before I tap into that, spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s, please? Tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. What topic are I reading? What do my pile number 4s need? What reading do my pile number 4s need? Okay. We have your next relationship. That's the reading we have. And that's quite fun that you've got your next relationship when you guys chose the Jolly Rancher and it's green, which correlates to the heart chakra. So love that for you guys. So yeah, we have a relationship reading. Let's get in. So pile number 4. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of my pile number 4? But straight away I'm being shown a horse. The horse does represent freedom and free-spiritedness. So that's something coming through. It could be that you just connect with horses really well. They may come through energetically for you, but that was just something that I was shown opening up to the reading, or it could be significant to your next relationship in some way. I wish you could see Jasper right now. He's kind of hanging off the sofa, and his little paws hanging off, and he just looks so cute. I won't disturb him though. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. Pile number 4's next relationship, please, spirit guides. Can you tap me into the collective of my pile number 4's? Pile number 4's next relationship. What can you tell me about pile number 4's next relationship? Okay, so we have Justice reverse. Pile number 4's next relationship. Pile number 4's. Am I using these? No. That was a lot of cards. That makes sense. Pile number 4's next relationship. There, do you know when like a candle has like black smoke that comes up off the top? That happened, and I feel like that happened because by the time your next relationship comes in, you would have been through a period of karmic cleansing, releasing karma before that person comes in. You know, like sometimes people can jump from one relationship to another. I don't think that's going to be a situation with you. I feel like there would have been a good time period where you would have been single or just on your own. It could be 2 years because I'm being shown the number 2, or 2 could be significant in the reading. Can you show me pile number 4's next relationship? Anything to do with pile number 4's next relationship? What's it going to be like? The person, 9 of Pentacles, love that. 9 of Pentacles. Pile number 4's next relationship. What can you tell me about pile number 4's next relationship? 5 of Cups. You're not going to see this person when they come in. The Hierophant and the High Priestess. Oh, okay, interesting. Bit of a psychic connection we got going on here. This is something very divinely guided as well. This is someone you're not going to see, or you may not even be that interested when you first meet them. Pile 4. The back of the deck, we have the Empress. So straight away, and I don't want to spend too much time on it, you will have been going through a karmic cleanse before meeting this person. You will have been, you know, releasing a lot of karma, and you would have been spending some time by yourself. And I feel like you would have gone through a tower moment where you would have delved into your subconscious a little bit and done some healing, so that you weren't bringing in old wounds into new relationships, so that they weren't... I want to explain it in a more simple term, but when we energetically have wounds in our subconscious, our relationships are always going to manifest to trigger those wounds in our subconscious, because how we are within is what we see without. So I feel like you may have had you know, connections where maybe you poured into people a lot, they didn't pour in back, you know, connections where people triggered abandonment wounds that you had within you. Whatever it was being triggered, and your old connections would have come up for you to release and pour out before you bring in this person. And I feel like you would have some sort of material abundance before your next relationship comes in. Maybe you know, your career pops off a little bit, maybe you start making really good financial, you know, abundance and money. You could get a house for yourself, a car for yourself. There's something like, there's something you've sown before this person comes in that you've really put into focus. It could just be that you, with the Empress card here, you've just really grown up before this person comes in, matured emotionally, know what you want, looking at life in a more practical way, looking at life, you know, through a completely different lens and a completely different set of eyes. It's like you've built a really strong foundation for this person to step onto when they come in energetically. And there's an essence of abundance in your life when this person comes in, which does feel material or financial in some sort of way. You might buy yourself your dream car, something like that. There's just abundance of some sort. So there's a lot of richness in your life, if that makes sense. Like I don't even think that was the word I wanted to use, but it came out that way. There's a lot of abundance. That was the word I should have used instead of richness. I don't even think that's a word. However, when this person comes in, I don't think you're going to be super interested in them. It almost feels like when this person comes in, either you have your eye on someone else, you could be talking to someone else, or what I'm being told is you may not be entirely open for a relationship at that point. There's like a feeling of looking at your life and where you're at and just feeling like, I don't have the time to pour into somebody else, or I don't know if I'm really interested in this person. The person coming in that's going to be your next relationship, I feel like that they're going to mirror a personality trait from someone from your past that maybe triggered you in the past, like somebody, like an old flame. Not that they're going to be exactly like that person, they're going to be like that person but revamped. Hear me out when I explain this. They're going to have the same traits, but they're going to be more evolved. So say now the person that hurt you in the past was a lot more really talkative and really loud and really confident. This person's going to come in really talkative and loud and confident. However, they're going to use that energy in a different way. Maybe the person in the past, that person from your past, use it as arrogance and put you down, whereas this person coming in, they use it as a surge to give you confidence, to give you, to be a cheerleader. But you're still looking at it maybe in a tinted way of, oh, well, this person's going to be a handful, and this person's going to feel like they're too good for me, and this person's going to put me down. And that's not the case. That's just one example. But I feel like this person's going to have traits like someone that hurt you, but they're going to know what to do with them. They're going to know what to do with those traits. They're going to use those traits for good. They're really going to pour into you with those traits. And I feel like it's going to take you a little bit of a while to warm up to them, because your mind may take you back to that person from the past. And there's a little bit of an unhooking that you guys may go through of releasing when this person comes in, to really let go of your past, and not look back to the past. Because it's like you might still look back at those old wounds and think, oh, I don't want this to happen again, I don't want that to happen again, and this person, you know, this person's reminding me of that. Or it could even be as well that old wounds resurface for you to really analyze when this person comes back. If you haven't had a relationship for some time, which I feel you won't have, I feel like, you know, the whole dating thing where you go on dates and you get to know someone, you could be very reminiscent of that past person when this person is taking you on dates, and it could trigger you. But the reason it's coming out is for you to really acknowledge it and allow it to pass through. I see you guys doing that and then opening up. The reason I see you guys opening up is because there's a level of wisdom that would have been reached by the time you meet this person. And I feel like, look at this, the Hierophant and the High Priestess. There's a mirror and there's an energetic, soulful connection here, a psychic connection here that is really drawing you both in. That even if you might not speak for like a week or two, because maybe you feel like you want time to yourself, because I feel like you're going to be the one that might try and push it away a little bit. I feel like this person's going to be very patient, but I feel like there's this magnetizing energy that's going to pull you back to this person anyway, where you still think back to this person and you still... there's this hearty connection there that you're stepping back towards, which is going to be there, you know, which is really, really, really beautiful. So I want to get into this person's personality, because then maybe I could show you guys what may be triggering you about this person, because I don't see you interested in this person when they come in. Let me get my tiny tarot deck so I can pull some more cards on the side. Let me just sit down because I know I'm going to knock things over and be really boisterous. This person as well, you may find this person a little annoying when they come in, but do you know what it is? It's not that you're really finding this person annoying and triggering. It's that you... I don't feel... You'll feel... How do I explain this? You're going to be super focused on yourself, that the idea of someone else coming in is not going to suit you. You're not going to want a relationship. So anything could come in. Prince Charming could come in and I feel like you would be like, not interested, don't want it. Not interested, don't want it. So this person, it's like any traits that you actually end up falling in love with, they're going to annoy you at first. Because I feel like you might pick this person apart in your brain at first. In a way of trying to find a fault, because it's like you're hyper analyzing it, and I think that you may feel like, oh, this person's really talkative, or it's irritating me, this person keeps texting me all the time, or it's really irritating me, this person wants to go on dates all the time, it's really irritating me. But in actuality, that's what you wanted, but it might just annoy you at first because it's like, oh my god, this is really happening. And there's also a frustration. All the times I wanted a relationship, nothing. I was met with frogs. Now that I don't really care for a relationship, now the universe is bringing in some sort of soulmate for me. Well, that's fun. You know what I mean? It's like, what on earth is going on? So there's like a little bit of frustration there too. It's like, things were fine and dandy, why are we bringing a connection in? You know what I mean? I feel like you might feel like that. There is a frustration, I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like this person soothes you, and I feel like this person becomes quite a... they challenge you a little bit, which may be a bit frustrating. I feel they challenge you a little bit, you know, but I feel like as time goes on, I feel like there's a really strong friendship that develops, which then develops into love. And I feel like this person may come in hot and heavy in a relationship way and be kind of flirty, and then you guys are like, no, get away, you remind me of people from my past, no. And then this person's like, oh, okay, well, let me try friendship. And then they'll try with friendship, and then I feel like that's where it will grow. I feel like you're going to friend zone this person and be like, I'm not interested in you, don't want to go on dates with you, don't want to spend time with you, no. And then this person's like, oh, we have things in common, let's be friends. And you're like, okay. You know, you have wisdom, or we, you know, you may do the same humanitarian work, or you may be connected to spirit, and you may have something to teach each other. So it's like, oh, well, let's teach each other this, nothing else to it. And that's when you start to really get along. So it's something like that. Something like that. Okay. Yeah. Let's pull some more cards. So what's this person's personality going to be like, spirit guides? Pile number 4's next relationship. Can you tell me a little bit about them? How they are? Their relationship. Fire's coming through strong. Aries, Leo, Sag. Gemini is coming in. We have the Ace of Swords. Pile number 4's person's next relationship. The Hierophant again. Quite connected to spirit. Could be that they're religious, but I do feel this is more spirit. I feel like their crown chakra might be quite open. They might channel information through. We have the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you might end up getting married to this person. I'm not going to use those cards because that was just a weird flip that I did. That just, if you do want to see it, it was the Two of Wands there, but I don't feel like that was part of it. Pile number 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so this person's had to really, the person that you're next in a relationship, they have really had to fight to get any sort of material abundance in this lifetime. I feel like they know what it's like to feel disconnected to self, go down a wrong path, go down a self-destructive path. They know that, and they've matured and grown from it, is what I'm being told. So there's a lot of confidence and a maturity and a how do I explain this? A very go-getter energy because of that. It's like they seem like alchemists themselves. They're able to turn nothing into something, and I feel like that's something you've done with this Nine of Pentacles. I feel like maybe you both had to reach a level of material abundance before stepping into each other's life. There's a lot of growth in regards to that, and maybe navigate in the physical world. You guys may be both connected to spirit then. But with the Ace of Swords, I just feel like this person, how do I explain it? You know when people are like go-getters and they'll try anything once. I have a friend like that. My friend Sam, he's a Leo with Sagittarius moon and rising, so fire. He just like flies about, he travels, he always just tries anything, like new foods. He's always trying new foods, you know, a bit of a daredevil like that. And I feel like that energy would represent your person. I feel like they're a little bit of a daredevil, and I feel like they're the type to get you out of their shell. You know, it's like sword in the stone. They're the type to pull the sword out of the stone and give it a go, because that's the type of person that they are. Quite carefree in that way. I feel like they're very generous with their time and very generous with their resources. We have the Seven of Pentacles at the back of the deck, so I feel like they've really had to put effort and build up from the ground, which again is something you've been doing. And I think that's why you align when you guys are having a windfall of a bit of abundance here, because it's like you're both aligning, then you've both kind of made it rain for yourselves, you know what I mean? Yeah, I do feel like there's a psychic connection. I feel like there's an emotional connection where you're both able to pick up on each other's emotions. I feel like this person's also going to be able to feel that you may be going through some insecurities in regards to a relationship when they step in. Or this person may be able to feel that you're not very responsive to like them coming in hot and heavy romantically, and that's when they're able to shift it up. This person's able to read the room. They're quite full of wisdom like that, so they step back when they need to. They're also someone that's very noble is the word I'm getting. Very noble, loyal. They'll defend you, but sometimes they can be a little bit hot-headed, so you might have to like reel them in sometimes. They might have a little bit of like word vomit where they just say things and it just comes out. But yeah, I feel like they're very, I feel like Knight of Swords energy. They are a little bit impulsive, but I feel like a lot of their impulsive decisions have helped them create things, and I think that's why they're like that. I don't think it's to a point where they're self-destructive, because this feels like someone that's really grown and matured. I feel like they know when to be impulsive and when to refrain, but they may still need, because you're quite grounded, I feel like they may still need you to kind of pull them back and help them observe sometimes. That's something coming through. Yeah, I feel like they're very fire and air, and you're very water and earth. They're very positively charged, fire and air, and you're very negatively charged, water and earth. That's what's coming through. Yeah. So I want to see what makes you fall in love with them as well. So I'll use the same little cards as well. So let me just keep them there. I want to see what makes you fall in love with them. What makes you have a change of heart? Because I see you're really resisting this at the beginning. What makes my pal number 4s have a change of heart in this relationship and actually get to know the person that they're in a relationship with? What gives them a change of heart? I'm hearing swans. Could be Swan Lake. I don't know. Swans. I love watching ballet in my pastime. I don't know why I'm telling you it. Maybe ballet is something to do with this reading. You know, like the Nutcracker. I love typing it in on YouTube and just watching them. I think I was a ballerina in a past life because I cry when I watch them. It makes me feel really good. But I feel like I'm telling you that because there's something to do with ballerinas, Swan Lake, anything like that. It doesn't have to resonate, but it's just something that came up. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. What gives my pile number 4 is a change of heart, spirit guides? To that person. I feel like you can't deny the compatibility and the energetic pull. I think that's something. Knight of Swords. Page of Pentacles. Actually, your resistance to the connection is actually what helps it, because it has your person learn to deal with maybe insecurities of you maybe rejecting them, adapt, and really slowly build with you and take care and nurture the situation. It then has you slowly take time to open yourself up, and that's how the connection builds. So actually, it's not a negative that you actually are a bit resistant, because it helps you both move at a slower pace. Whereas if you would have met sooner, you might have both rushed in and had it crash and burn. Interesting. Pile number 4. What gives my pile number 4 the change of heart to their relationship? Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Wands. Back of the deck we have the Moon. I feel like you're going to get a lot of psychic downloads. I feel like you might even pull tarot or go to psychics, or even ask your spirit guides. Spirit guides, if this is not for me, let it reveal itself. If this person's, you know, not the best for me, let it reveal itself. And I feel like you might get a lot of positive reaction back from spirit, like, no, this is your person. You know what I mean? Or you may get like a lot of synchronicities in everyday life where spirit's like, no, seriously, this is your person. Like I keep being shown swans again, swans, doves, birds in general. There's a lot of this is your person, this is your person. Aphrodite might even come through for you with the doves, and you know, there could be synchronicities there. Synchronicities in the way you were both raised, they're things that you have in common. The more you get to know each other, the more you realize there's a lot of synchronicities, and the more feelings open up, and the more you may even get like past life downloads and messages about your person too in that time period. Knight of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Wands. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this person, I feel like the consistency from your person is really going to water that seed within you, if that makes sense. Them saying things but also doing. This person's very action based, whereas maybe in the past you've dealt with people that said a lot but didn't do. This person's going to do a lot, which is going to help build those walls of trust that have you open yourself up. And that way that seed's being watered, and it has you open up, and it has your true kind of self come through. And I think that you're both going to learn a lot from each other. And I think this person, you know, they do like to give a lot of their time and energy and build people up. And I feel like that's going to have you feeling confident. And I just think the way you feel around this person, the safety net that this person then becomes for you, the confidence that this person brings to you, and that you know, I'm hearing Don't Worry About a Thing, you know, the Bob Marley song, Three Little Birds. It's like, birds are really significant. I feel like you're going to feel that way around them, and I feel like this person's really going to demonstrate that loyalty to you, which is really going to have you kind of sold, and then it naturally builds that, you know. But I feel like, again, the Hierophant and the High Priestess with the Moon card being here, this is going to be a psychic connection for sure. 100% going to be a psychic connection. So let's pull your Halloween cards. Pile number 4. Pile number 4's next relationship. Anything else you can tell me about pile number 4's next relationship? We have protection, jack-o'-lantern. I think that's very much demonstrating that you guys are going to be protecting yourself. And maybe just, you know, the jack-o'-lanterns are like warding off energy. So I feel like maybe you might try and ward them off. Might even try and push them away. But then I feel like they're kind of still there, but approach you differently then. You're going to be very protective of self, which is, it's sometimes we can be a bit too protective, but the fact that you do open up, shows that I think it's just you naturally learning from your past and maybe thinking, okay, let me put the halts here. I don't know if this is something I want yet, which then has your person then move differently with you and you know, give you a different response, which is more in tune with each other, because maybe this person's really drawn to you and just kind of excited because they feel impulsive, but in that way as well, that your person then learns your language, your love language, and how to deal with you, knowing that you guys can be a little bit sensitive. You know that what's the song, was it Natasha Bedingfield or was it someone else that sung I bruise easily, so be gentle when you handle me? That's the lyrics. I feel like this person's going to see that, and I think that's actually going to help them in knowing how to deal with you and get to know you in that way. What's that, Jasp? What are you looking at? He's just staring at the flames on my altar. He's like, what is going on? I don't know if he can see something energetically. I can't, but I'll see when I close down the reading in a minute. He's very interested as to what's in the corner. What can you see, boy? Can't be that bad. He's just gone back to sleep. Pile number 4. And again, like Jasper lifting his head up there and being a little bit inquisitive because he's semi-feral. I feel like that may be you, like, oh, I don't know if I can trust. But I feel like, again, that's how they learn. I feel like that's how your person learns to deal with you and understand you. And I think maybe then what they could take as rejection or take as this person isn't interested or this person's mean, where other people may have thought, oh, well, this person's a bit too much. This person's like, oh, okay, this is self-protection. Oh, okay, I need to move slower with this. You're not willing to show yourself to me like that. I have to earn that. Oh, okay, let me adjust this then. And they learn that way with you doing that, you know. It's like Jasper. I wish I could pick him up and cuddle him all the time and, you know, give him my love in physical ways, but that's not his love language because he's semi-feral. He won't let me pick him up, so I have to wait for him to come to me, and that's when he gets comfortable with me, you know what I mean? So it's like that. I love how Jasper show up in pile 3 and pile 4 with synchronicities for both readings, like he knew. Final card, pile number 4. Pile number 4's next relationship. Skull of flowers creating through the ashes. Love that. You would have gone through a complete death and rebirth before meeting this person to prepare. You know, the Ariana Grande song, the Pete Davidson song where she sings, my whole life got me ready for you. That lyric. It's a shame she named that after him because, I mean, it's just a bit awkward really, isn't it? She could have named it anything else because it's a really beautiful song. But I've got to search Pete Davidson to search for it, which is a bit, oh, okay. The back of the deck we have zombie control, so I feel like it's going to test you a little bit, the connection with the full moon being up here and releasing and the zombie and coming up from the grave. It's going to test you a little bit in regards to your past, then maybe having traits from your past or opening up and being vulnerable again like your past. There are going to be some triggers there, I'm not going to lie to you, but the fact that we have control on the card, I feel like you're definitely going to take your time and really open up to it and face those fears dead on and alchemize them with creating through the ashes. I feel like you're really going to build, and yeah, that's going to be your next relationship. So pile 4, that's what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful Halloween, a lovely Halloween. Please stay safe. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.